In the heart of Louisville, Kentucky, stands a grand, imposing structure, the Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Today, it's known by another name, the third most haunted place in America. But before the whispers and shadows, it was a place of desperation, a last resort against the terrifying plague. In the early 1900s, an epidemic known as the White Plague tuberculosis swept across the country. It was a brutal, slow-moving killer with no known cure. To combat the crisis in Jefferson County, a massive hospital was built on a high, isolated hill where fresh air was believed to be the best medicine. This was Waverly Hills. At its peak, it housed hundreds of patients. The 5-story Gothic-style building was a city unto itself, designed to be a place of healing. But for many, it became a final resting place. The treatments were often experimental and agonizing. Patients were wheeled onto open-air porches, even in the dead of winter, exposed to the elements for hours on end. Some underwent a procedure called thoracoplasty, where ribs and muscles were removed to allow a collapsed lung to expand. It was a painful, disfiguring surgery with a success rate of less than 5%. The sheer number of deaths was staggering. To keep morale up among the living patients, the staff had to find a way to remove the deceased without anyone noticing. Their solution was a 500-foot-long tunnel, originally built for supplies. It became a chute for the dead, a dark, sloping passage leading from the hospital to the railroad tracks below. They called it the body chute. Imagine being a patient, hearing the quiet rumble of a gurney in the night, knowing another soul was making its final journey down that dark concrete tunnel. It's estimated that thousands, perhaps tens of thousands, left Waverly Hills through that chute. One of the most infamous stories from Waverly Hills is that of room 502. This was the nurse's station on the 5th floor, the psychiatric ward. The legend speaks of 2 nurses who met their end in this very room. The first, in 1928, was found lifeless, having taken her own life. The head nurse at the time, she was unmarried and pregnant, and the shame and hopelessness of her situation were apparently too much to bear. Just a few years later, in 1932, another nurse who worked in room 502 reportedly jumped from the window or was pushed to her death. The records are murky, the details lost to time, but the story lingers. Visitors to room 502 today report a deep sense of despair. They hear disembodied voices whispering, "Get out," see shadowy figures darting across the room, and feel an unseen force pushing them towards the window. Another spirit said to linger is that of a little boy named Timmy. He was a young patient who loved to play with a leather ball. He's often seen and heard on the 3rd floor, rolling his ball along the empty corridors. Paranormal investigators and visitors have brought their own balls, leaving them in the hallway only to return and find them moved. Some have even captured audio of a child's laughter or the distinct sound of a ball bouncing when no one is there. And then there's the shadow figure known as the creeper. This dark, ominous mass is often seen crawling on the floors and up the walls of the sanatorium, particularly in the main hallways and the cafeteria. It moves with an unnatural speed, a solid black form that seems to absorb the light around it. It's not human-shaped. It's something more primal, more terrifying. Those who have encountered it describe an overwhelming feeling of dread, a sense that they are being hunted by something not of this world. The body chute itself is a major hub of paranormal activity. People walking its length report feeling icy cold spots, hearing moans and cries echoing from the concrete walls, and seeing apparitions of gurneys being pushed by unseen hands. Some have even felt the chilling sensation of being touched or grabbed in the darkness. It's as if the sorrow and despair of those final journeys have been permanently imprinted on the tunnel itself. When a new, effective antibiotic for tuberculosis was discovered in the 1940s, places like Waverly Hills were no longer needed. The sanatorium closed its doors in 1961. It later reopened as a geriatric facility, but that too was shut down in the 80s amidst reports of patient abuse and neglect, adding another layer of suffering to the building's already tragic history. For years, the building sat abandoned, decaying. The The paint peeled, windows shattered, and nature began to reclaim it. It became a magnet for thrill seekers and ghost hunters, each one adding to the growing legend of the spirits trapped within. Today, Waverly Hills is open for historical and paranormal tours. The owners are dedicated to preserving its history, both the light and the dark. Every floor tells a story. The children's solarium, once filled with the faint hopes of recovery, now echoes with phantom laughter and crying. The morgue, with its cold stainless steel body trays, emanates a profound sadness. The kitchen, where staff once prepared thousands of meals, is now home to strange smells and the sounds of clattering pots and pans with no one there. Is it simply the power of suggestion, the dark, imposing atmosphere playing tricks on the mind? Or have the thousands of souls who suffered and died within these walls truly never left? The sheer volume of consistent experiences from people of all walks of life suggests something more. From full-bodied apparitions to intelligent audio responses to physical contact, Waverly Hills has provided some of the most compelling evidence of the paranormal ever recorded. It stands as a monument to a dark chapter in medical history, a place where science and suffering collided. The spirits of Waverly are not just ghouls in a haunted house. They are the echoes of real people, doctors, nurses, and patients who lived and died in a battle against an invisible enemy. They are a permanent part of the building's soul. So if you ever find yourself walking its dark, empty halls at night, listen closely. You might just hear the whispers of the past, a chilling reminder that some places never forget. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most mysterious places. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been to Waverly Hills or if you'd be brave enough to spend a night. Stay curious and see you next time.